Hello viewers, good morning. My name is Vivi Colley, a child protection consultant. I am the producer of Child and Society. Today we are going to be talking about the impact of Boko Haram activities in Nigeria, how it impacts on our children, our families, and our nation called Nigeria. We are going to be talking today seriously, looking at who these Boko Harams are, what they stand for, and what we are doing to protect our children, our society, our core values. With me today are Mr. Godwin Ogenede.
Thank you, viewers.
Mrs. Kate Okolie.
Hello, viewers.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
To Child and Society. Now, Mr. Ogenede, can I start with you?
Thank you.
Can you please tell us what you understand by Boko Haram? What do they stand for?
The origin of Boko Haram, as you understand, is it means Western education is bad. Boko Haram, I think they are a misguided group of people. It's like they have no mission really. They have no good. They started trying to, at the initial stage in the early days, to bring a conflict between Christians and Muslims. That was the original aim, by attacking Christians in the north. When that didn't work, it then spread to the wider society. Today, they are ending up attacking school children in their hostels. Last week, they killed about 40 or 50 students while in their school. So this cannot be allowed to continue.
Okay. Yeah, let's just go straight to what do they stand for? What does Boko Haram stand for?
To be honest with you, what they stand for is, as far as I'm concerned, it's like they're putting the country in a state of anarchy. I don't know what their ideologies are, but it's a state of lawlessness. They are like, it's an attack on the integrity of the nation, Nigeria. It's not only about Borno State, about the north. Whatever it is that is going on in Borno State, going on in Mafu village or Mafu town, is an attack on the whole nation. So let's not see it as a thing of the north, i.e., there's been a series of attacks recently around the Borno State. So the killings of the children, the killing of older people, women and children, pregnant women, is an attack on Nigeria as a nation. So we need to step up as a nation to find a solution, really. It's not about the north or the south. It's an attack on the whole nation, on the integrity of a nation, really.
So where are we saying now that Boko Haram, that they are anti-Western education?
We don't even know what they are anti. Let's face it. Because it's one thing to say we are anti-West, we don't like West. If you look at them, the guns they use are produced by the West. The telephone they use are produced by the West. They go on internet to wage their propaganda war. So how can you say you don't like anything West? And yet everything you use in propelling your propaganda is from the West. So it's actually a misguided kind of people who don't have an ideology. They don't know what they actually want. They just believe they go on a killing spree. It's high time the nation come together. It's not a question of North and South anymore. It's not a question of Christian and Muslim. Okay. It's a national problem.
All right. Now, they still, focus on who these Boko Harams are. These Boko Harams, are they Nigerians? Do you know whether they're Nigerians or are they from North Africa somewhere? Where are they from? But I know that they have gradually recruited a lot of Nigerians from research. They have recruited a lot of Nigerians, especially people with a very low educational standard who do not quite understand the value of education and what education stands for. This, which is the reason why we are really advocating that most Nigerian children should be educated. What's your take on that?
If I don't know if I come in first,
yes.
And then we give my colleague
yes,
time
please.
to chip in as well. My belief is that we know there's a problem. First of all, this problem is lack of education as well. Government, I think, is high time they tackle some of the root problem. Some of the root causes are lack of education. Over the years, we have our children educated in the north, say in Amajiri schools. I'm not against Amajiri schools, but the problem of sending the child to a Amajiri school, when they lead themselves, don't send their children to this Amajiri school. They send their children to proper school. They send their children abroad to be educated. Why should the child of the commoner be constrained to only Amajiri schools? So it's high time they tackle the fundamental problem of education in the north. Lack of education. Money should be invested in education in the north, educating the children, stop them roaming on the street so that they cannot be brainwashed.
Now, but then, even so, my issue is Boko Haram are still killing people. Last week, they killed a lot of children in Borno State. They went to Yobe. They killed children in schools. They took our girls into the bush. They take our mothers into the bush. And they keep them there as slaves for sexual satisfaction. This cannot be a religious, you cannot consider such people as very religious. So what is the issue? What do they stand for, Boko Haram? They are killing our children. They are raping our mothers. They are raping our young girls. They are burning our communities.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think you can come in at this stage, actually.
Yeah. The question about taking the Almajiris off the streets, as good as it sounds, but the problem we have now is, at the moment, how do we solve the issue about these incessant killings? Like the BBC Nigeria correspondent Will Ross recently, obviously on the news, says that Boko Haram has stepped up its violent campaign on the Nigerian nation as a whole. Every minute, every second, people are being killed, women are being killed, children are being killed. Now the new one is the killings of the children, kidnapping of the children out of the boarding school. So it's a state of anarchy. What do we do about these insurgents? They've been there for the past 4 years, and they're getting worse every day. And all we do is to sit back and just talk about it, because it has not affected us directly. We feel, oh, as far as it's not my child, or it's not my mother or my wife or my husband, it's nothing to do with us in the South. It's a national thing. We need to step up. What's the military? What are they thinking of doing about it? Yeah. We need the security system in Nigeria needs to be reshuffled. Something needs to be done, because the attack on these children, the attack on women, on elderly people, it's an attack on the nation as a whole. That is my concern.
Okay,
the nation is not safe.
Thank you, Ms. Kate.
I think if I may add as well, this actually, if you look at it, I've always advocated that it's just like the Yoruba people have a proverb that somebody have a 100% degree bond. Are you asking for his beard, whether his beard is burnt or not? When you know fully well that the first thing that will get burnt is the beard.
Yes.
What I'm saying in effect is it. Our leaders, especially the leaders from the north, when this thing is going, people are still talking about power shift. From the north from the south to the north. This is not the time to talk about power shift. We're talking about serious terrorism problem facing the nation. This is not the time to think that only us must rule. Because that's part of the origin of this problem.
Right.
They've been indoctrinated to believe that the leadership must always come from the North. And if it's not from the North, then we must resist it. Because when Jonathan came, you remember some leaders made some statement that we will make the country ungovernable.
Yes, that was right, wasn't it?
That is not the solution to this problem. It's high time the leadership of the North step up the mandate and go about campaigning for peace in the nation to reign.
So
otherwise, we will continue this.
What does that mean? I will make the country ungovernable for you.
Yeah, I mean, to think about it, it's supposed to be a democratic society where people are given a free will to vote. So what makes you think that because you are from a particular part of the country, the rulership or leadership of Nigeria belongs to a particular class or belongs to a particular political class? Do you understand? This is not a military regime. This is democracy. This is the 21st century.
So it's interesting what you said, Mr. Ogenede.
Yeah.
Because you tried to link the Bokoharam issue with activities, with the threat which President Jonathan got when he was newly elected, that we will make the country ungovernable for you. Indeed, the country has been ungovernable since that time, to be honest, because I can't remember in my lifetime when Nigeria has been like this, except when during the Metasini days in Kaduna and Kano, which was not anything like this. This is really making the country ungovernable. But the outcome is that, in fact, our children are being killed. Our mothers are dying. Our children are being raped. Our villages are being burnt. This is a problem. We need to make this country governable for whoever becomes the president of Nigeria. We need for the children to experience positive life, positive experience, not to be running from one village to the other, being killed when they are sleeping. Over to you again. I'm enjoying this discussion.
I mean, we're coming back to this issue of rulership. See, the so-called, this is the problem of the ruling elite. The ruling elite believe that they've got to say, I am talking for my tribe. I am talking for my people. I am representing my people. And when they get the benefit of representing their own people, they keep the benefit to themselves and their family. Why the masses themselves suffer. So what I'm saying in effect is high time they make it a law. There should be a law promulgated to ban against incitement speeches by our political leaders. This is not the time to be talking about who should be the president, whether the president should come from the north or from the south. This is the time to come together to think about how do we produce good leadership wherever it comes from, and solve some of these problems. Leadership that will provide education for our people, whether in the north, whether in the south, that will make life, that will provide employment for our people. Because if you see some of these, there are symptoms of unemployment, symptoms of lack of education, and many other symptoms that manifest itself. So if we don't address it now and stop talking about power shift, as you see about so many leaders, see talking about power shift when hundreds of children are dying. So when all these people die, who are you going to rule?
I'd wonder.
Are you going to rule the dead?
I wonder.
Or you want to govern over the dead? So this is not the time to talk about who become our president in 2015. This is the time to give the president opportunity to address the real issues.
Now, you know that part of Boko Haram's ideology and their belief system is that that no infidel, basically, should be ruling them. You know that there are issues around Sharia. Sharia is what is believed strongly by the Boko Haram set. But Nigeria is a secular country. How do we balance the need of a minority called Boko Harams and the need of Nigeria as a nation, which is a nation that believes in secular live and let's live, basically. You know, maintain your own religious, I maintain mine. Live and let's live, respect each other's values, respect each other's rights. How do we deal with that? Because I think that this is some of the issues that we are having that's leading to the death of our children, leading to the razing to the ground of our villages in Nigeria. Can we talk on this, please?
Yeah, Nigeria as a nation is greater than any individual or any group of people or sect or religion.
Yes.
Per se. So the interest, the unity of the country and the integrity of the country is greater than any religious sect or group that wants to bring disintegration to the nation. So the most important thing really should be the interest of Nigeria as a nation. What is the interest of Nigeria as a nation? That interest is for people to be given the opportunity to elect who their true leaders should be. Really.
In view of these Boko Haram issues, I think the federal government have started nominating, planning seriously with regards to the national conference. Now, would that be a way out to resolve some of these issues, if I may ask?
National conference is not, because this is terrorism in the first place. National conference might address some of these issues. Because the national conference will bring together, we define the basis of our existence. For example, if you're going to have rotational presidency, let it be embedded in the constitution. So every region, we know it's going to be my turn in 20 years' time, in 10 years' time. So this conflict of north-south will be removed. So I will believe the national conference will address some of these issues. We should go back possibly to regional governance, based on the current 6 geopolitical zones as a region.
So you're not talking about what used to be the 3 regional...
No. It should, the current 6 geopolitical zone arrangement have been accepted by everyone as a means of our coexistence. And I believe we revert back to that, they will be able to reduce the size of the federal government. So the federal government side becomes smaller. So it becomes unattractive. The center becomes unattractive.
But even at that, would that put a stop to the insurgency of Boko Haram? Will that kill their value system, which their ideologies, which really leads them to believe that it's only someone who will be in position to impose, as it were, or make to happen Sharia laws in Nigeria and stop Nigeria from being a secular state? Will that resolve?
Nigeria is actually a secular state.
Yeah.
You see, why I say this is it. I have been in this country, for example, in Nigeria. I have friends that cut across every race, every tribe, every region. And what I'm saying here is, if you look at Nigeria of today, there are so much intermarriages between every tribe. People don't actually marry from their tribes these days. They marry across tribes. So what I'm trying to say, at the grassroots, there is no division, there is no separation at all, because we are mixed. It's the political elites who are using this division for their own benefit in order to rise to position of power, because they believe that that is the only way they can get to position of power.
So it's a divide and rule.
It's a divide and rule thing.
That's right.
Thank you very much. I think that is the way to say.
Who is dividing and who is
the
ruling?
politicians?
What are they dividing?
Because that's for example, I could get up today and make some noise. I say I'm speaking for my Robo people, or I'm speaking for Delta people. We've been marginalized, and when they then give me an appointment, when I start making the money,
so
I'm sharing the money for myself.
That Boko Haram is a man-made?
It's a man-made.
So are you saying that it's a group that is managed by a certain group of people who are using them to meet their own political gains?
That's right.
Yeah. So it's like you're talking about a shift in paradigm, a shift in the political state of things in Nigeria at this moment. Okay, right. Prior to a Christian becoming a president, there was a peaceful harmony between the North and the rest of Nigeria. But since President Jonathan was elected, Boko Haram has not stopped. In fact, it has not stopped. but we want to be together and we want to please stop the killing of our children. How can the government, Christians and Muslims, come together to put a stop to this radicalism, to this barbaric killing of our children by Boko Haram? I don't know who is responsible for managing them, sustaining them. I don't know. But what we know is that we have existed for so long. And we need to continue to exist together in harmony and to stop the killing of our children so that we can move forward. Nigeria is there for all of us. But again, you can't force people to belong to a country if they don't want to. If Boko Haram people really don't want to stay in Nigeria because Nigeria is not a Sharia country, what do you propose for such people, please?
I don't think, if you look at the North especially, well, of course, when it first started, we thought it was a northern problem.
It's not.
But the North,
it's not.
The North, in my view, the North actually have suffered more.
They are killing the Northerners.
Even the
yes.
Southerners,
yes.
the South, that some of us are. People, the economy have been destroyed.
Yes.
There are no more education.
No. Yeah.
So, in fact, they've been sent back to Stone Age.
Yes.
At the moment.
So if Boko Haram equals Stone Age, is that what you're saying?
That is what it is right now. If you look at the economy of the Northwest, the Northeast, it's totally collapsed. There are no economy anymore. Nobody invests in there. Nothing is happening in there.
So Boko Haram is not just affecting our children, our parents. It's also affecting their ability to make money for themselves.
Yeah, for themselves.
If you are not stable, because you have no stable home, you cannot go to work. Your children are dying. You are mourning. You have separated from your loved ones due to this unnecessary barbaric acts from Boko Haram. They are impacting on our economy, our livelihood, our Article 12, if you know what I mean. We have a right to live, a right to exist the way we want. Now, we all must rise and do something about this. That's what we are talking about.
In fact,
The question remains that who sponsors them? We're thinking that they are faceless.
Yeah.
Who sponsors them? They use sophisticated weapons, assault rifles, grenades, explosives, and rocket propellers to kill our children, older people, and men and others. Who sponsors them?
Right.
And
Nigeria
how are we
wants
going
to
address these issues? It's very important.
The issue again, it borders on the state of anarchy Nigeria is today, and the state of lack of institutions. The problem we have is is a manifestation of the collapse of institutions. Boko Haram, you arrest certain people, you release them tomorrow. Some of them cannot be prosecuted because they have some godfather behind them. There are situations where some are arrested, some big wig go and release them from the police. So you find there are so many problems. So the issue is bigger than that. We need to go back to the drawing board to make sure that our institutions work independently. The judiciary, the military, the police, all these institutions must be made to work. That's because it affects the wider society. Where there is no law, where there is anarchy, this is the result of what we get.
All right. From what we heard today, it's clear that Boko Haram is a man-made problem, which is now affecting our society, Nigeria. It is man-made. It is orchestrated, planned, hashed by a certain group of people who want to keep hold of the political center of Nigerian politics. We are in democracy, as you know, and when you are in democracy, you do not want to go back to the dark ages. Boko Haram, as we heard today, adopting their ideologies means going back to the dark ages. We have come 100 years since we were colonized, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Since
we just celebrated our
we've just celebrated our centenary, isn't it? Therefore, we do not want to be taken back.
Years.
We enjoy Western civilization.
Bokoharam
enjoys Western civilization. Now we are coming to the end of this show, and we're going to say thank you to our viewers, because I'm being told it's time. Thank you. You must tune in every Saturday by 11:30 to 12 if you are in London. If you are in Nigeria, please tune in at 12:30 to 1. We are presenting to you Child and Society program, and today we've been speaking about the impact of Boko Haram on our children. Thank you.